Andrew here, and today I'd like to remind you that your inputs determine your outputs. Or, as they like to say in the computer programming world, garbage in, garbage out. What does this have to do with your mental health? Well, pretty much everything. If you flood your brain with negativity, if you flood your brain with toxicity, you're going to bring yourself down. If you flood your brain with positivity, with good, then you'll help elevate. I've talked lately about how succeeding with my children helped to elevate my mood, helped to keep me on a good level. Well, I'd like to talk about the opposite. I may have alluded to the fact that I have unusual taste in music. And I say unusual in that my musical tastes are described as eclectic in a nice way, as bizarre in a less nice way. But what I'll do is I'll mention two of the major things that I listen to. I listen to heavy metal, heavy metal, and I listen to a tremendous amount of classical music. And if you find that that is unusual, well, there's no conflict there, but that's the subject of another video. In terms of one versus the other, I'm going to draw a story or tell two stories of contrast. 12 years ago, I was a consultant. I was a design consultant. And at that time, the design consulting game was not good. I had worked perhaps 4 to 5 months, and winter was coming on. It was around this time of year. And I needed to either find work in consulting or I needed to find a real job. I decided that I was going to listen to nothing but truly great, uplifting classical music. And I flooded my brain and my life with Mozart and Beethoven and Bruckner and Brahms and the like. Over the course of about a month, I found a new job, got dug into that new job, and things started to go along very, very well for me. I put joyous, wonderful sounds into my brain, and good outcomes resulted. I'm going to fast forward to February of this year. I've alluded to how bad it was, and someday I'll tell the full story of just how bad it was. But my children now know that I have a YouTube channel, and while I've asked them not to go here, not yet, because there are topics that I discuss, that I talk about, that I must speak to them about. I don't want to get too deep into the details of it until they're ready to hear them. So what I will say is that in February of this year, I was at a very, very low point in my life. And I hit absolute rock bottom when I was listening to a Finnish death metal band called Insomnium. These guys are artists. They are extraordinarily good at what they do. But their topics can be a little, shall we say, bleak. And the particular track I was listening to, the particular video I was watching, was Heart Like a Grave. And the very name of that track should give you an idea that it was not exactly a happy and uplifting kind of a song. It's about an old man who has come to the end. He's widowed, he's old, he's ready. He's ready to take his final swim in the fjords. Well, I was getting there. I was getting to that very, very low point. I shut that thing off, and as much as I enjoy Insomnium, I haven't listened to them since. I haven't given up on heavy metal. I listen to more upbeat stuff like, say, Amon Amarth, where, it's not quite so bleak and desperate, and this is the end, my friend. Okay, that's the Doors, not heavy metal. But those two stories, those two anecdotes, to use a musical input to uplift or a musical input to put down. That's just music. Every input has an effect on you, whether it is to lift you up or to drag you down. It is up to you to determine which are which, and which type of input is which type of input, and to remove the toxic inputs, and to find the uplifting, the healthy inputs. It's what I've done. It's what I continue to try to do, and what I recommend to you to do going forward.